Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and it's the weekly reading for November 18th to the 24th. This week, Aries, we have the Answer the Call Oracle card. We have the beautiful healing energy of the Star. We have the Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. Look at that, double aces, Aries. We have the Ten of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Devil. Yeah, so obviously, like, we've got a really wonderful row here, Aries, and then we've got a more ominous one at the bottom. Yeah, classic reading of what's coming out at the moment. Something needs to be released to get to the good stuff. I mean, look at this, your happy home is being almost like in a vice between the Ten of Swords and the Devil. So, what's stopping you from achieving this? Yep, some kind of toxicity needs to come to an end. But let's start by reading out that Oracle card. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary. It might not make sense. But if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you're being called to do, it is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Yeah, I mean, Aries, there is a call that you're being asked to answer here, and yeah, definitely not an easy one, because I feel that answering that call, really is going to need you to bring something to completion, bring something to a fairly painful ending. Now, yeah, answering the call, I mean, it's what you feel deep in your gut. It's what you feel when you tune into your heart space. Deep down, you already know the answer. Maybe you've been putting it off because, no one wants to go through the pain. But what's worse, a lower level sustained pain of being in a situation that's toxic, or, short and sharp, ripping off the Band-Aid and, feeling that pain in its full experience, but then you can heal and you can move on to new opportunities. So I'm going to start down here in your recent past. Yeah, we have Devil energy on the home front, or on the front that is linked to your sense of stability, security, what makes you feel safe and secure. Devil energy, guys, well, it's that kind of level of toxicity. It can be in a relationship. I'm strongly feeling this is linked to the home front. So it's likely to be linked to a relationship in the home. It can be in your romantic partnership. Could be with a housemate, flatmate, boarder, or, it can be with a family member as well. So that devil energy can be somebody that you might be codependent with. So for example, it could be with a romantic partner that ideally, if you listen to your gut and answered that call, that potentially there's no future in the relationship, but potentially you might be obviously better off financially in a partnership, and you don't want to bring that to an end because it's going to be more difficult for you in that way, so you've stayed in it. Maybe you just, really want somebody there to make you feel safe and secure, but we have to remember that that is built on an illusion with the devil, on a shaky foundation. And when we stay in those situations, eventually we can find ourselves in a tower moment where all of a sudden, it breaks down, and we're left in an even worse position than should we have released it from an empowered state, from making that clear decision ourselves. With the devil energy, I mean, these people here who are the lovers are chained to the devil, but these chains are loose enough so they could get them over the head and free themselves. But there's an element of them staying there willingly. So ask yourself, Aries, what has been the payoff for the cost of staying in a toxic situation? And that can be some of the things that I've already mentioned, as in financially, it's easier living with someone that you might not be getting along with, or there's no future there with. Yes, you get to feel safe and secure. It's protection having a partner there. You might get help with the household chores, that kind of thing, help with the children. But, it's not sustainable long term, guys. And it is stopping you from getting to, these new beginnings that are just bursting to come through for you, Aries. I have had this deep feeling that they have been behind your door for some time. I'm an Aries too. I'm relating to this reading. a lot. Yeah, I can say I'm going through the situation as well. And I feel that there are bigger and better things waiting, but yeah, obviously there's completions that need to take place, and they're definitely not easy ones, because these situations over time can suck your vital energy. They can suck your life force, you know. That's why the devil has the bat wings. But there's an element of magnetism to the situation. If it's a partner, you know, you probably still love them, you probably still have deep feelings for them, but you need to think about you and your future, Aries, and what you want for your life, and whether you see that in the situation. And if not, you got to keep moving, because we want this in isolation, without the confinement of these dark energies or these denser energies moving in and eclipsing it. You know, that's what I see with the devil. It's eclipsing your possibility of having a beautiful celebratory future, maybe, you know, marriage, children, the whole works, or just, you know, having a wonderful life. A wonderful life that you are solid and stable truly, not just in an illusionary sense. So yeah, going to go. Yep, these two came out together, guys. 8 of Pentacles and Ace of Swords, and yeah, 10 of Swords. So these are focus energies. I'm going to start with these two, actually. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I think you know, this week is kind of that wake-up call of seeing the situation for exactly what it is, Aries. You know, this, as the saying goes, the truth will set you free. I feel that the situation is probably so hard for you to let go of, because, you know what, I think you put your blood, sweat, tears, and bloody hard work into it. You know what, you really wanted this this relationship, this partnership, this flatmate situation, whatever it is, you wanted it to work. And I really think that you also put your hard work into maybe kind of, you know, controlling the environment a little bit so that it did work. You might have changed the way you lived, your schedule, you know, you really tried to fit in with this person. And yeah, I think it necessarily wasn't easy. It was probably quite a, you know, a slow burn over time to kind of get yourselves in a situation where you were coexisting in a nice way. But, you know, I'm definitely hearing that you sort of had to kind of squash an amount of yourself, or you had to bend more for the other person. And I think, you know, there comes a time where you realize that you can't keep doing that in the long term, and that, you know, if you're the one putting in all the energy to build the situation but you're not receiving that back, you know, you burn out, Aries. You burn out. And I think you're seeing everything for what it is this week, and you're going, you know what, it is so unfortunate, but I need to do something about this. You know, I can see it for what it is. I can see how it's unfolded, and now I can see what my future projection is like if I stay in this situation. And yeah, maybe you don't like what you see. That's the Ace of Swords. It's a revelation. It's a mental breakthrough. And it could even be a breakdown. But we've got to remember that through breakdown comes breakthrough. And this is your defining moment, Aries, where you take that sword and you use it to slice off the last of those energetic cords and release yourself from the situation. And, you know, then you are left holding, you know, a sword of victory. You can re-crown yourself in all your glorious Aries leadership beauty. And, you know, the universe is giving you the sword of power as, you know, a metaphorical sword, giving you the power, giving you the strength, and giving you the insight this week to shut the door on the situation. That's why I think the Ten of Swords is here, guys, because the Ten of Swords, you know, it is a painful ending. There's no doubt about it. Some of you might be going through chronic fatigue or sickness as a result of emotional stress or burnout from putting in all that Eight of Pentacles energy. You know, it's a Ten of Swords. It really is a strong omen here that it is the end. There is a, you know, a very bright dawn that's waiting to eclipse this darkness for you. So, you know, really we need to try and, you know, close the door firmly, not leave it ajar is what I'm hearing. Yeah, with the swords here, I mean, there could have been a betrayal in the situation or a deception. We've got the devil here as well, so that backs it up, in a sense that you thought the situation was going to be one way and it turned out the other. Maybe the person led you to believe that once you got into this kind of home situation with them, that things were going to change, they were going to reform, they were going to do this and that. But it hasn't followed through, Aries, and you need to know when to drop it, because otherwise, you're the one that's just staying in that in-between zone, that stagnation point where maybe you haven't been able to answer your call, but my gosh, you're ready to answer that call now. Okay, so in your near future, Aries, if you can close the door on that situation, and I really don't think that there's much choice but to be honest, look at what we've got. This is your silver lining. This is your bucket of gold at the end of what may not have seemed like a very colourful rainbow. The star card, the star card actually follows the tower in the order of the major arcana. So it's like the calm after the storm. And I also see a 10 of swords being a little bit of a storm as well. So this is your calm after the storm. This is your healing, your rebalancing. This is you rebalancing the waters of life, and in particular getting your emotional health and your mental health and well-being back on track, and staying grounded while you do that. Yes, you've still got a foot in the emotions. I'm sure there's still going to be tears, there's still going to be pain and that sort of thing, but you've got this, Aries. You've got one foot on the ground. You're doing the work. You've got divine guidance here under the star energy and double aces. This is meant to be. This is divine timing for this to unfold, as painful as it is. The star can also talk about bringing your energy back into balance, especially if it probably has been actually attached to a denser energy, maybe. And no, not necessarily any fault of theirs, guys, but this is what happens in these situations. Energies do join, and it can literally drain you like a battery. This is about you realigning your energy. Great time to get energy healing. These 7 white stars can link to the chakra system of our body, so it's a reminder to look after yourself energetically in the near future. That's what you may need to do to get yourself back on track. But great time to think about, your future direction, Aries. Where do you really want to go? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be with in the future when you're ready for another relationship? Because wish upon a star. That's what you need to do at the moment. There is that element of divinity. And right behind that, once you've gone through that renewal, once you've healed the wounds that need to be healed, there is an Ace of Wands here, Aries, that is bursting to come through. Now, the Ace of Wands, what I love about this is it can be a passionate offer. It can be about you re-establishing and rediscovering your energy and enthusiasm for life, taking action in an inspired new direction. So if this was you burnt out and fatigued, it's not going to take long, Aries, before you're back to yourself, back to your fiery Aries power, and using that wand to move yourself ahead quickly. I mean, I know you guys, I am one. We don't stay down for very long. We pick up our wand and we move on and we take the action. We are leaders and action seekers. So keep in mind, guys, we've got 2 aces in this reading. They are the first number in the suit of, wands and swords we have here. So they do need action to keep them unfolding and expanding, keeping that growth going. So keep on with your healing work. Keep looking out for the new opportunities, because they will be there. And this is a new chapter for you, Aries. As we move closer to 2020, we close out this 10-year cycle. We release ourselves from denser energies. We complete and close what's ready to be completed. That's when you will find this in your next chapter. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Aries. Keep in mind it's a general reading, so it's not going to be for every one of you guys, but I know it is for some. Feel free to leave me a comment if you would like to share how it's unfolding in your daily life. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.